Struggling to make a thick, healthy looking SCOBY despite trying everything? You're not alone. You've followed the recipe to the letter. You've babied your brew, and yet all you get is this thin, fragile film. Your heart sinks. You're left staring into your jar, asking the same terrifying question I did. Is my SCOBY sick? Is my entire batch ruined? Hey brewers, today we're solving one of the most common and anxiety-inducing mysteries in home fermentation, the thin SCOBY. I'm going to share a personal story, break down the science from actual research, and give you the simple, actionable fixes to turn your thin film into a robust powerhouse culture. And spoiler alert, your kombucha is probably going to be just fine. So, stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be a SCOBY whispering pro. Let me take you back to my third batch ever. I was so proud. My first 2 brews produced these gorgeous, thick, pancake-like SCOBY. For batch 3, I did everything exactly the same, but after 10 days, nothing, just a hazy, almost invisible layer on the surface. I was convinced I'd killed it. I'd heard all the horror stories about mold and failed ferments. I almost poured the whole thing down the drain. But then I talked to a master fermenter, my grandmother, which taught me everything I know about brewing kombucha at home. She asked me 3 questions. Where's your jar sitting? Are you moving it? What's the temperature? My jar was on the kitchen counter, bathed in afternoon sun. I was checking on it multiple times a day, giving it a little swirl, and our house was cool, around 68 degrees Fahrenheit, or better say around 20 degrees Celsius. She just smiled and said, "Your SCOBY isn't sick, it's just shy, cold, and stressed." And to tell you the truth, she was 100% right. Let's talk about the science of the thin SCOBY. What's really going on? Here's the critical truth. That changed everything for me. Backed by expert brewers, SCOBY thickness is not a direct indicator of health or fermentation success. A thin SCOBY can still produce perfectly tart, fizzy, and healthy kombucha. What thickness does indicate is the efficiency and speed of your fermentation. A thicker SCOBY has more microbial biomass to convert sugar faster. The SCOBY itself is a cellulose mat produced by acetic acid bacteria, primarily from the Kombucha genus. Wow, that word is hard to say. This mat is a byproduct of floating microbial city. Its job is to protect the fermenting tea underneath from airborne contaminants. So, when conditions aren't ideal for those bacteria to produce a lot of cellulose, you just get a thin mat, but the yeast and bacteria in the liquid, your starter tea, are still hard at work. In fact, a 2024 scientific study published in a peer-reviewed journal directly examined SCOBY of different thicknesses, and they found that thickness significantly changed the SCOBY physical properties. But crucially, even the thinnest samples were successfully purified and contained the essential bacterial cellulose. The science says a thin SCOBY is still a functional SCOBY. Then, which are the 5 most common culprits to make a thin SCOBY and how to fix them? So, what's slowing down your cellulose production? Based on brewing guides and my own experience, here are the top 5 reasons for a thin SCOBY, from most to least common reason. Number 1, not enough time and too much disturbance. This was my big mistake. Patience is non-negotiable. Every time you move, jostle, or poke your jar, you disrupt the delicate formation of the new cellulose layer on the surface. Solution: find a dark, quiet spot like a cupboard or pantry and leave it completely alone for a minimum of 7 to 10 days. A full fermentation cycle can take 7 to 21 days. Number 2, low temperature. The bacteria in your SCOBY are like tropical vacationers. They thrive in warmth. The ideal range is around 70 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, or better say 21 to 30 degrees Celsius. If the brew goes below 70 degrees Fahrenheit or around 21 degrees Celsius, everything slows to a crawl, including cellulose production. Solution: move your brew to the warmest spot in your house. If that's not enough, a fermentation heat mat is a game-changing a low-cost investment that wraps around your jar for consistent warmth. Number 3, insufficient fuel. I mean, tea and sugar. Your SCOBY can't build a thick mat without the right building materials. Don't be afraid of the sugar. It's food for the culture, not for you. Using weak tea or cutting back on sugar, it will starve the microbes. Solution: stick to the recipe. Use full strength black or green tea and the recommended amount of plain white sugar to give your culture the energy it needs. Number 4, too much light, both natural and artificial light, can inhibit the SCOBY growth. That sunny windowsill is a fermentation false step. Solution: keep your brew in the dark. A dark cabinet or a closet with the door slightly ajar for airflow is perfect. Number 5, weak or dormant starter culture. Sometimes the issue is in the foundation. If your starter tea wasn't strong and acidic enough, it should be below pH 4.5, or if your SCOBY was stored incorrectly. Never store a SCOBY in the fridge long term. It can be sluggish. Solution: always use at least 2 cups of a potent acidic starter tea per gallon batch. This inoculates your sweet tea with a strong army of microbes right from the start. Then, when should you be worried? Spotting real danger signs? Okay, so a thin SCOBY is usually fine, but how do you know when there's a real problem? You need to become a detective. Use your senses. Let's check what are the healthy signs. If you see brown, stringy blobs or sediments, that's yeast. If you smell a vinegar-like aroma, the liquid becoming less sweet and more tart over time, a new film, even a thin one, forming on the surface, means you are on the right track. Now, let's check for danger signs. Look for dry, fuzzy spots in white, green, blue, or black in color. Mold needs air, so it will always grow on the top surface. It will look like mold on old bread. If you see this, unfortunately, you must toss everything. SCOBY and tea, and then start all over again. Also, if there is a smell like nail polish remover or rotten egg, is totally a bad sign. If you see all the good signs happening, then you can try the ultimate test. Get a straw and taste a small amount after 7 to 10 days of the kombucha bean brewing. If it's tart and vinegary, this means it's fermenting fine. The SCOBY is alive and well, even if it's skinny. So, to answer the title question, is it ill or is my kombucha going to be okay? In 99% of cases, your kombucha is perfectly okay. A thin SCOBY is a sign to optimize your process, not a sign of failure. Give it time, warmth, darkness, and the right fuel, and your next batch will likely surprise you. If this video saved your brew from an untimely down the drain fate, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're here to demystify home fermentation with science-backed and practical advice, so you can brew with confidence. And now that you know your gut-healthy drink is safe, you might be wondering, what is all that huge new body of scientific research actually saying about kombucha and your gut microbiome? Is it the miracle elixir it's claimed to be? In our next video, we dive deep into actual clinical trials and human studies. We'll explore how kombucha impacts gut bacteria and what the latest 2025 study revealed. And we will answer once and for all, is kombucha actually good for your gut health, or is it just another health fad? You don't want to miss this next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on our next video.